if you grew up in America, in particular the South, there's a good chance you may have been a part of some branch of the Christian church, or maybe you still are. Hi, my name is Z, also known as Mickey the Poet, and I was confirmed in the Methodist Church and identified as a Christian for most of my life. For me, Christianity wasn't something I found. The existence of the Holy Trinity was taught to me more like a fact of nature, like the wind. It just was. Now, on to the question at the heart of this video. Am I still a Christian? The short answer is no. I no longer identify as a Christian. Today I'm going to talk to you about just a few of the reasons I now consider myself agnostic and spiritual. Number one, the hypocrisy within the Christian church. Church is supposed to be a hospital for the broken, somewhere everywhere should be able to come and find healing, grace, and forgiveness. Instead, what I've found many Christian churches have turned to is a place people come to project a certain image of put-togetherness and righteousness. Moms trying to portray that they have the most obedient children in the congregation. Pastors insisting that they have the most loving and healthy marriage. Addiction, mental health struggles, affairs, financial struggles, and battles with all types of things, all hidden away in a tiny little box every Sunday morning. I got tired of feeling like I was wearing a mask and like I was pretending to be an impossible version of myself just to impress others that probably didn't even notice and were more focused on their own problems. Number two, as a queer and sapphic woman who was raised in the Bible Belt, I cannot overstate enough the level of homophobia I've encountered within the Christian church and from those that claim to follow the teachings of the gospel. A phrase I encountered extremely often was love the sinner, hate the sin. I fundamentally disagree with this. I do not agree that a person's identity and existence or who their heart chooses to love could ever be a sin. As someone who has taken college-level classes studying the New and Old Testaments, the Jesus I came to know through my readings and faith journey radically accepted and loved everyone. No ifs, ands, or buts. He loved the tax collectors, prostitutes, unclean, abandoned, and lost souls around him. And I'm going to share a Bible verse to back up what I'm saying. It is Colossians chapter 3, verse 12 through 15. As God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. Bear with one another, and if anyone has a complaint against another, forgive each other, just as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in the one body, and be thankful. And my third reason for leaving the church, the divide between men and women in the church is palpable. Many Christian women, including myself, have been taught for the majority of their lives that the biggest accomplishment they can achieve in life is to marry a good Christian man, have some children, and be a dutiful stay-at-home mother. Any woman that challenges the status quo is often ostracized and alienated. Everything women wear, do, or say is criticized and dissected. We're often told to be meek, modest, soft-spoken, and obedient. Even worse, many churches continue to choose to side with those who have violated and assaulted women, choosing to protect the perpetrator, completely ignoring the victim. I wasted so many of my teenage years and my college years trying to be the perfect Christian woman. One thing that I learned is that it is impossible to be pure or good enough for those that refuse to look at themselves in the mirror and admit their shortcomings and flaws. I'm going to quote 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 11 through 12. I believe those of us that are Christians or have been Christians in the past have to call out this harmful language from the Bible and how it can be used against women. And 1 Timothy 2, verse 11 through 12, a woman should learn in quietness and full submission. I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. My fourth reason for leaving the church: the Christian church has been suffering from a greed problem. If you've ever paid attention to TV preachers like Joel Osteen, you might be familiar with something called the prosperity gospel. It is taught from the pulpit that if we just pray enough, tithe our income, and give 10%, and attend church once or twice a week, that God will shower us with financial blessings and material blessings. Simply put, Joel Osteen preaches that if you just pray and believe hard enough, that new Ferrari will be yours in no time. This way of thinking and teaching can lead to followers being swindled and overgiving and putting themselves in a bad financial position just to give to the church. Christians often conveniently forget that the Bible says it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. Looking at you, Elon Musk. And many other people that would probably take hours to name the men that are greedy in the world. And my fifth and last reason for leaving the church: the Christian church and evangelical community is not a fan of women having autonomy over their bodies and reproductive rights. As I speak right now, laws in many conservative states allow victims of rape and incest to have to carry unwanted pregnancies to term, deepening the trauma and tragedy that the victim is forced to experience. Women can be left to bleed out as they miscarry because doctors are fearful of being criminally charged or put in jail for saving their lives. The Christian church has chosen to hang on the outdated ways of thinking that does not protect victims and does not recognize a woman's body as her own property. This is absolutely unacceptable. And lastly, I'm no longer a Christian because of all the pain that organized religion has caused me as a woman and as a member of the LGBTQ community. I still find solace in the radical teachings of Jesus and how he stood for unconditional love and acceptance and mercy. However, I found peace and stability in spiritual practices like meditation, manifestation, spell work, full and new moon rituals, and a connection with nature and the universe. Studying Wicca and opening myself up to the world around me changed me as a person and for the better. I became more tolerant of others and differing opinions and grew into myself and self-confidence and learned that I truly do have control over my future and my life and legacy if I choose to take it and assert it. If you'd like more videos like this in the future, please hit that follow or subscribe button and give me a like. It does help with the algorithm. And please know that you're welcome here in my channel's community, no matter what faith background you come from. I look forward to, hopefully in the future, I'm making more videos this year. And if you'd like more videos on these topics or have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments. I look forward to unpacking religious trauma and deepening our spiritual journeys together on this channel. Love you guys. Be safe out there.